Look closely in the mirror. If you think you have blue, green, or gray eyes, your brain is lying to you. Science has proven that there is absolutely no blue pigment in your eyes. None. So why do you see blue when you look at them? Well, it all starts with a genetic glitch. By the end of this video, you will know exactly how rare your eye color is. And you will discover a shocking truth. Biologically speaking, human beings really only have one true eye color. Let's rank every human eye color from the most common default setting to the absolute rarest genetic anomalies on Earth. Let us start with the original blueprint of human survival, brown eyes. If you have brown eyes, you share this trait with roughly 55 to 79% of the global population. You might think having the most common eye color makes you ordinary. But from an evolutionary standpoint, your eyes are the ultimate, perfected design of nature. The color of your eyes is determined by a complex pigment called melanin. This is the exact same pigment that determines the color of your skin and your hair. Hundreds of thousands of years ago, every single human on Earth had brown eyes. Our ancestors lived in the sun-drenched regions of Africa, and melanin acts as a highly effective natural sunscreen. The front layer of the iris in brown eyes is packed with this dark pigment, which absorbs harsh ultraviolet light and protects the delicate tissues deep inside the eye from radiation damage. This is why nearly 100% of populations native to Africa and Asia have dark brown eyes. It is an evolutionary shield. But if brown was the perfect original design, what happened to make all the other colors appear? To answer that, we have to look at one of the greatest optical illusions in human biology. Coming in at number 2 are blue eyes, making up about 8 to 10% of the world's population. Here is the mind-blowing truth: blue eyes do not actually exist. There is no blue pigment anywhere in the human body. If you have blue eyes, the front layer of your iris is completely devoid of melanin. It is completely transparent. So, where does the color come from? It comes from a physics phenomenon called the Tyndall effect, which is very similar to Rayleigh scattering, the exact same reason the sky looks blue. When light enters this transparent layer of your eye, it scatters. Blue light waves are shorter and scatter more easily than other colors. So they bounce right back out, making the eye appear blue to anyone looking at you. Your eyes are literally playing a trick with light. What is even crazier is the origin story of this illusion. Scientists have traced the genetics of blue eyes back to a specific genetic mutation that occurred in a single individual living near the Black Sea around 6,000 to 10,000 years ago. This means that if you have blue eyes, every other blue-eyed person on the planet, from Hollywood actors to a random stranger across the globe, is your distant cousin. But what happens if you add just a tiny drop of melanin back into that transparent blue eye? You get something that seems to change shape altogether. Next up are hazel eyes, claimed by only about 5% of the global population. Hazel eyes are the shapeshifters of the genetic world. People with hazel eyes often report that their eyes seem to change color depending on what they are wearing, the weather, or the lighting in the room. This happens because hazel eyes are a chaotic, beautiful mixture of different mechanisms. They usually feature a ring of moderate brown melanin near the pupil, surrounded by a lighter, sometimes greenish or golden outer edge. The color shifting is real, but it is not magic. It is just physics. Because the melanin is unevenly distributed, light scatters differently depending on the environment. In bright sunlight, the Rayleigh scattering effect takes over, making the eyes look more green or blue. In dim indoor lighting, the brown pigment dominates, making the eyes look darker. It is the perfect balance between the original brown blueprint and the blue illusion. Also sitting at about 5% of the population is a color so striking it almost looks unnatural: amber eyes. While hazel eyes are a mix of colors, amber eyes are a solid, glowing, coppery gold. If you have amber eyes, you share a trait that is extremely common in apex predators like wolves, eagles, and owls, but incredibly rare in humans. This piercing golden color is not caused by the typical brown melanin. Instead, it is caused by a massive deposit of a yellowish pigment called lipochrome. While brown eyes absorb light and blue eyes scatter it, amber eyes practically glow because of how this unique yellow pigment interacts with incoming light. Having the eyes of a night predator is definitely cool, but it is still not the rarest standard eye color you can be born with. At roughly 2% of the global population, we reach green eyes. For a long time, people believed that green eyes were just a mix of blue and yellow pigments, like mixing paint on a canvas. But human biology is much weirder than that. Green eyes are the ultimate rare balancing act. To get green eyes, you need two very specific things to happen at the exact same time. First, you need the genetic mutation for the blue optical illusion, the scattered light effect. Second, you need a very thin, perfectly distributed layer of that yellow lipochrome pigment sitting right on top of it. When the scattered blue light mixes with the yellow pigment, the viewer sees green. It is an illusion layered underneath a rare pigment. There is a common myth that everyone in Ireland or Scotland has green eyes. While they are more concentrated in those regions, finding true solid green eyes without any brown flecks is incredibly rare worldwide. Dropping below 1% of the population, we enter the territory of extreme genetic rarities. First are gray eyes. For centuries, gray eyes were just lumped in with blue eyes, categorized as a darker shade. But modern science has revealed they are fundamentally different. While blue eyes have a completely empty front layer in the iris, gray eyes have a front layer packed with excess collagen deposits. This extra collagen completely changes how light behaves inside the eye. Instead of the Tyndall effect scattering only the blue light, the larger collagen particles cause something called scattering. This is the exact same scientific principle that makes heavy, water-filled clouds look gray right before a rainstorm. All wavelengths of light are scattered equally. People with gray eyes quite literally have a pair of miniature storm clouds sitting in their irises. But as rare as gray is, it still relies on natural structures. When the genetic code truly breaks down, we get colors that should not be possible. Affecting a fraction of 1% of humans are red and violet eyes. These colors are almost exclusively found in individuals with severe forms of albinism, a genetic condition where the body is completely unable to produce any melanin at all. Remember how brown eyes use melanin as sunscreen? People with albinism have zero protection. Their irises are so entirely transparent that there is nothing to stop the light. When you look into a truly red eye, you are not seeing red pigment. You are actually looking straight through the iris and seeing the blood vessels in the back of the eye reflecting light out. Just like a camera flash causing red eye in old photographs. Violet eyes are even stranger. They occur when there is just enough structure in the eye to cause a tiny bit of blue light scattering, which then mixes with the intense red reflection of the blood vessels. Blue and red make violet. because these eyes have no UV protection. People with red or violet eyes are extremely sensitive to light and often suffer from severe vision problems. It is a stunning color, but it comes with a heavy biological price. We have reached the absolute rarest eye condition a human being can have. It affects fewer than 1 in a million people. The rarest eye color in the world is not actually one color at all. It is called complete heterochromia, where one eye is an entirely different color from the other. For example, one perfectly brown eye and one perfectly blue eye. While this can sometimes happen due to injury or disease, the most mind-bending cause is a genetic condition called chimerism. In ancient mythology, a chimera was a monster made of different animals fused together. In human biology, a genetic chimera happens in the womb when a mother is pregnant with fraternal twins. Very early in development, one twin embryo completely absorbs the other. The resulting baby is born perfectly healthy, but they are carrying 2 completely different sets of DNA inside a single body. One set of DNA tells the right eye to produce melanin and be brown. The absorbed twin's DNA tells the left eye to lack melanin and be blue. The rarest eye color on Earth is the ghost of a twin you never knew you had, looking out at the world right alongside you. So, the next time you look in the mirror, remember, whether your eyes are a protective brown shield, a blue illusion, a gray storm cloud, or a genetic miracle, you are looking at millions of years of evolutionary history staring right back at you.